Hello friends, welcome to my channel Just an Investment. Today we will discuss about Antony Waste Handling Cell Limited. This company was incorporated in the year 2001. They are in the business of collecting municipal waste, transporting them, processing them and disposing them across the country. What is municipal waste? Municipal solid waste is just the garbage we discard at our houses, schools, hospitals, and businesses. On the left, we can see on in the map of India where all they have their projects ongoing and where all are the areas where they did projects in the past. One thing which is very critical to note here is most of their ongoing projects are clustered at the same area. As per the prospectus, they have 18 ongoing projects, and out of that 18 ongoing projects, 12 projects is associated with collection and transportation. Two projects is associated with processing, so that is conversion of waste to energy, and four projects are associated with mechanized sweeping. The municipal solid waste generation is expected to grow at a compounded annual growth rate of around 9%. And why experts expect that the municipal solid waste generation will grow? There are three key reasons for this. First is urbanization. Second is the changing lifestyle patterns of the people. And third is the increasing disposable incomes. All of these three reasons are leading to increased consumerism and which is leading to increased waste generation. The overall expected market in FY20 was for 5,000 crores, and experts again expect that this market will grow at a compounded annual growth rate of 15%, and in 2025 it will double up to around 9,800 crores. What is the offer size of this IPO? The company is issuing fresh shares for 85 crores, and there is an offer sale by existing stakeholders for around 215 crores. How the 85 crores will be spent? A part of that 85 crores will be used to finance the Pimpri Chinchwad Municipal Corporation waste to energy plant. So this is one of the two WTE projects which the company has, and the rest of the 45 crores will be used for prepayment of outstanding debt. This gives me little comfort because I think the company is trying to reduce their debt. One thing to note in their prospectus was the company has an outstanding litigation of around 190 crores. Discussing about the shareholding pattern, the promoters and the promoter groups have around 51% and the selling stake shareholders have around 49%. And if we look at the average cost of acquisition for the selling shareholders, we can see that they have acquired each equity share starting from 85 to 170 price range. I think all of these selling stakeholders are associated with the company since 2007. So they have a pretty long relationship with the company. Discussing some of the risks associated with the company. The main risk which the company uh, projects or want to focus is the huge dependency on the municipal authorities for business. But what is the problem? The problem is the municipalities generate just 40% of the overall funds they spend. And for the rest 60%, they are dependent on grants and budgets from the state government or the central government. So if the projects with the grants or the budget allocation by state government or central government is reduced, this company can face a huge risk. The second is uncertainty in securing future projects. So it is very important for this company to grow is to secure more and more projects moving forward. In 2018, the company just secured one project. In 2019, they secured 5 projects, and in 2020, they secured 2 projects. So overall, I believe that they are doing good. And if they maintain the same pace, I think they will be in the good shape. One thing which gives me little comfort is the average duration of this project. So as we can see, The collection and the transportation projects have an average duration of 7.7 years. The sweeping projects have an average duration of 7 years. And the waste to energy, the processing projects have an average duration of 23 years. So if this company gets more waste to energy projects, they will be in a pretty good shape. Next is the huge dependency on a limited number of customers for the overall revenue. So this graph shows the revenues from the top 5 clients, and we can see that in 18 and 19, 2018 and 2019, more than 90% of their overall revenue was coming from top five clients. But as we move forward in 2020 and 2021, the percentage is decreasing, and I think they are going towards a great direction, because in 2021, only 77 of their overall revenue are coming from their top 5 clients. The next is they have, as on today, they have a presence in limited geographies. They are associated mostly with municipalities in metro cities. The next risk, which the company mentioned in their prospectus, is some of their subsidiaries have incurred loss in the last 3 financial years. But when I see the data, I feel like the loss is not too much that we should be worried about. The next is, this is a very high working capital business. So they have a huge manpower cost, they have a huge equipment cost. As per the prospectus, the company as on today have a fleet of around 1150 vehicles. But one thing which was very interesting was 970 of those vehicles are equipped with GPS technology. So somehow this company has a focus towards technology. On the left side, we can see how much percentage, so the working capital as a percentage of revenue. So this is constantly growing in 2018, 19, 20, and 21. And in 2021, around 40% of their revenue is used as working capital. And I think this is somehow justified, because as they are getting more and more projects, they will need a higher working capital. One thing which is very comforting for me is how the ratio for current assets and liabilities has moved starting from year 18 to 21. So we can see there is a gradual improvement in the overall assets which the company has uh, uh, the next risk which the company has mentioned is, of course, COVID-19. Today, if we open any annual report or any prospectus, COVID-19 will definitely be the risk associated with the company, and that's completely justified. But this company has seen a significant decline in their revenue. And what is the reason for that? The lockdown. So there was a partial or complete closure of commercial activities, and the generation of waste was decreased. But the company has mentioned in one of their interviews that they have almost reached towards the pre-COVID level, which is good from the perspective of the company. Some of the other key interesting metrics which I found in the prospectus was the urban population is constantly increasing. So the urbanization which is happening, and in 2020, around 35% of the entire population of India are, are urban population. One of the metrics which was mentioned in the prospectus was around 77% of the waste, overall waste generated in India, is disposed in open dumps. Only 18% is composted and 5% is recycled. But India as a country is trying to move away from open dumping. And as they move away from open dumping, it is a plus point for companies like Antony Cells. We'll discuss little about value chain analysis, and I think it is very important to understand what is the future strategy for this company. So everything starts with waste generation. all this waste is generated, are collected and then transported. They are transported to a transfer station, which is a secondary storage area where the segregation of this waste happens. The or if overall, on a speaking on a high level, the entire waste is segregated into three categories: recyclables, organic waste, and inert and reject wastes. The organic and recycling wastes are then transported to waste processing facilities, which produce compost as well as and refuse derived fuel. So composting is decomposition of organic waste, and RDF, which is generated from recycling facility, it is further used as fuel to which is further used as fuel, where boilers are used to burn RDF and generate power. The rejects from compost and RDF and the waste to energy plants are then eventually sent to landfills. And the inert waste is chemically or are chemically and biologically unreactive, and they are directly sent for landfill. Some of the example for inerts are sand and concrete. So this is the entire value chain for municipal solid waste management. In country like India, the waste segregation at source is still at nascent stage. We have seen a lot of development, but the experts believe that it is still at a very nascent stage. The cities with more than 50% waste segregation are the key market for the upcoming RDF plants, so the recycling facility and as well as composts. The rejects from all these facilities are disposed in landfills, and there is a significant opportunity for growth for scientific landfills. And the prospectors also mentioned that we need a lot of improvement in the closure and the post closure maintenance of these landfills. So what we can gather from this entire thing, let's discuss some strengths and the strategy of this company moving forward, which I think. So some of the key strength is it is a leading service provider in MSW management sector, and they have end-to-end capability. So as we saw that they are moving towards waste to energy projects, and the duration of those projects are also very high. In the past, they have a strong record of project execution and they carefully select their projects. They usually try to select projects which are close in area, so that they can utilize their resources wisely. They are focused on technology, and we can see that around 950 of their total fleet of 1150 are GPS enabled. And this is not the only technology where they are using. They are also trying to implement technology in other areas. Speaking little about the future strategy, the company mentions that they are trying to increase their geographical footprint, they are trying to expand their customer base, and they are trying to take projects which are close to each other so that they can improve operational efficiency, and that can overall improve the returns. The next is the company is trying to move up towards the MSW value chain by diversifying into emerging waste management areas. So as we saw earlier, around 12 of their 18 ongoing projects are associated with collection and transportation, and only 2 of the projects are associated with waste to energy. But the company future strategy is move towards the processing area as well as the landfill area. And I think that will help them to deliver higher margin. One thing which is very important in this overall industry analysis is there is a key entry barrier for new player in this market, because the projects which the company like Antony Waste Management Cell gets, most of the customers look for experience and financial background. So most of the projects are municipal tenders, and they prefer companies which have a experience in management of MSW as well as has a financial background, because this is a high capital investment business. Speaking little about the numbers, what I was able to observe was year on year, they have increased their overall revenues, the operating income. So the earning before interest and taxes is very decent. So they have around 25% of the overall revenue as operating income. They have around taxes of 12 to 17%, and the book value of equity is 3154 million, and the debt is around 2100 million. So I think they are planning to reduce their debt. On the perspective of cash, they have a good cash holding of 650 million rupees, and the return on invested capital is pretty handsome of 20%. So next, discussing about what or what my strategy for the IPO will be. I think this is one of the company which I would definitely like to keep in my portfolio. So I'm definitely planning to apply for this IPO. And I think I'll not just apply for first day gain, because the we can see the operating margin is pretty handsome and the company is growing at a good rate. So I think I see a long term potential for this company, and I think I'll definitely keep this stock for a longer term. At least 1% or 2% or maximum 2% of my overall portfolio, I can buy this stock for. And so you can take your decision, as you can further analyze about this company, and you can take your decision which you feel good about. And thank you so much for watching my video.